There's always a town that you can say, I can walk through it fairly safely at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, now you can't walk through it at 7 o'clock at night without worrying a little bit about whether you're going to actually be accosted. So, once again, bad management. Bad management. Trains, bad management. Police, bad management. Now let's go to the banks. Because one of the things that are managed very badly are the banks. 2:30, you must have funds in to cover. Well, the people that pay me at 5 o'clock. Tough. The computer says, ding, £12. But not only that, but this is from banks who have got our money, our tax money, to help them keep going, and which consistently pay their chief executives and senior people, thousands and thousands of pounds with bonuses for running a broken down organisation. All right, good management? No, of course it's lousy management. Lousy management. So that's the trains, the police, and the banks. And now, let's forgive all those three for a moment and say an aberration. Of course, we just happen to have bad people at the top, and it'll soon change. Well, let's turn to hospitals, where some of the hospitals are being taken into, taken into care, but what happens is that the government steps in because they're so badly run. And that's happened to a number of hospitals across the southeast. So we really do have to worry about the management there. And while the doctors are pretty good, some of the damn silly things start to go on, like collective surgeries and so on and so forth. But now people are going to have to talk to their pharmacists to get a first diagnosis. Well, that's okay. But, there are tons of stories coming out, particularly where youngsters are taken in, misdiagnosed, go home, and they die. And that's not good enough. I'm sorry, that is not good enough. Managers, you don't understand what you're managing. You don't understand medicine. And it's time that you did. And if you're a manager, you understand your product. You understand the product that you've got. And not only that, you don't paper over the cracks with PR that you can't satisfy. Customer first at Lewes District Council is just the most ludicrous thing. The last people they put first is the customer, the voter, the people that pay the taxes. They don't put them first. Not at all. There is no evidence of it. None. And yet here they paper over the cracks with another PR campaign. Bad management? Yes, bad management. So now we've got the trains, the police, the banks, and local government, and hospitals. What's left? Well, those people in Westminster. And here they go again. Blair gets into the act and says, no, that the voters shouldn't make a choice. We in Parliament know exactly what you want, and you should leave it to us. Never mind if it doesn't seem to be very popular, we should get on with it. There's a slight element of truth there, except one of the things that the people making decisions on our behalf is that they've never had a proper job. They don't know what it's like out here. They haven't a clue. They live in what's called a Westminster bubble, and that's how they make their decisions. They make their decisions looking across the Houses of Parliament, across the chamber in Parliament, and looking at the opposite side and scoring points and debating, and they're very good at it. They're not very good at managing, and they don't seem to hire people who are very good either. So as a consequence, we've got rotten government. Bad management, trains, police, banks, Parliament, hospital. I could probably go on and on and on. The fire service, in that silly nonsense that came out of the West Midlands about how they're discriminating between colour, ethnicity, and so on, to an ism to get their firefighters is ludicrous. It's a recipe for disaster, and they can't see it. They cannot see it. I believe that any manager should at least work for a couple of years if not in the discipline that he's chosen for his career, in any discipline. And with all due respect to me trying to compare myself to anybody, and I don't, but I'm not a bad journalist because I helped build the Trans-Canada Highway under the beating sun one summer, throwing dirt from one pile to another and mixing it with a bunch of Portuguese and Italian labourers, some very tough Canadian drivers, and bulldozer men and powder men, and you name it. And I was a prison guard, and I was a milkman, and I laid sewer pipe on the Canadian prairie. I've worked and lived with people, and that makes me a better journalist. I actually did the groundwork before I started to do what many might consider a softer job. I've covered the police courts. I've watched people coming in at 3 o'clock in the morning with their heads streaming with blood. I've talked to the policemen who are out there doing it on the beat, doing it on the job. I've sat into the chief constable's press briefings each day, and I've heard it all and I've seen it all, and I think that makes me a better journalist. And believe me, I'm no spring chicken. I should be an ex-journalist. There ain't too many of us left who know what the hell we're doing. So if there's anything else that is badly managed at the moment, it's the media. We have very, very poor media, and if you really want very bad management, just turn to the BBC. Case studies, media, hospitals, parliament, banks, police, trains. Are we badly managed? Yes, we are. And the trouble is that it is a generation of bad managers. Can we afford to wait for the next generation coming through to see whether we'll get a better stream of management? Well, let's hope we do. But can we wait? I think the answer is no. I think we've got to go back to the drawing board and say, how do we train these people? And the first thing that goes, in anybody's budget is when people have to cut back, it's training. And I was discussing this with somebody yesterday, and they said, how crazy can it be? How crazy can such decisions be? If you're not trained, you can't do the job. When will that sink in? Well, not for this bunch of managers, and since I may say so, the politicians are the worst, we're not going to see any action. They don't believe it. They think that they are so great and doing a great job that they will never consider and make any sort of analysis of what they or the people who are looking after our society are doing. Don't hold your breath. We're just going to have to put up with these bad managers. No end in sight. Okay. Keith Hayes, sorry for the false start this morning. Toodle pip. Till tomorrow.